We are in Tulum, in
Aldea Zama.
Aldea Zama. So if you don't know what Aldea Zama is, it's a neighborhood that was started in 2009. It's 74 hectares approximately, and it is nestled between the main avenue to go from the highway from the Cancun airport all the way to Tulum. So from that highway down to the beach, it's called Coba, and it's nestled between Coba and the other street that goes from the highway down to the beach called Kukulkan. That's where we are right now. So Aldea Zama is perfect for many reasons. Obviously, if you're staying here, as we did last night, actually we were in an event, a real estate event, we all stayed here, our whole team. Aldea Zama is really, really nice because you can just walk out to, for example, right behind us, there's coffee shops.
There's stores, there's little pharmacies, anything that you would need on your vacation.
Yeah.
Shopping, food, drinks.
It's lively.
It's all right here. Yeah.
It's lively, so you can literally walk out of your condo and just walk down these streets. So here, follow me. For example, this is pedestrian only, so it's a beautiful manicured street.
Yeah.
You notice all the trees. This is Tulum. Tulum, when they started doing the master plan, they said, well, we need to leave the Tulum vibe, which is nature.
We need to keep
trees.
the jungle, keep everything. Because Cancun kind of, they did the high rises, and then Tulum is really kind of keeping the essence of the jungle still alive within.
It's true, it's beautiful. And so look at all these trees. So when you're walking, this is pedestrian only, like I mentioned. So you can walk through these streets. Just imagine, Aldea Zama was designed for commercial, residential, and mix. So you, for example, you'll have here, you'll see you have condos at the top, and then you have commercial spaces on the bottom. And then there are some areas that are 100% commercial, and then we have some residential only lots where you'll find only condominiums or villas, individual standalone homes, or even townhouses.
I have a question for you, Luigi.
Yeah.
Is it a gated community, Aldea Zama?
No, it's not a gated community. You can drive right into Aldea Zama off of Coba or Kukulkan, but there are gated communities within Aldea Zama, which, when you do come and visit, you'll be able to see there are gated communities within.
And some projects that do have gates and...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really secure. It's
really nice.
It's got some bars, coffee shops, boutiques, cafes, which is big. So the digital nomad could come, and if they get tired of being in their
little studio or in their one bedroom, they go out and they work during the day, and that's how you socialize too. It's such a nice community and atmosphere here because everybody meets everybody. They're on vacation, like you meet so many people, and it's beautiful. So it really gives you a community vibe when you're here. So this is a
restaurant, wine bar. Yeah.
This is in low season as well, so it's really, there's not that many people, which is really nice for this kind of time, but in the higher seasons, this gets really busy. There's so much more life, there's so many more people that are walking around, walking their dogs, riding their bikes, vacationing, so. Yeah,
so Monica mentioned slow season. I mean, we're in the slow season, September, October, beginning of November, but there's still life. For example, we were here last night for a bite to eat, and the restaurant was packed. We wait right over here on the corner, look at these streets. And at night, there's lights. It's all
lit up. It's really cute.
It's so cute in here.
It's adorable. Look at these little tiny Tuluminati shops.
Yeah, there's little clothing shops and little restaurants, tables outside under the trees. This is all pedestrian only, so you'll see it's mixed pedestrian with also vehicles. And my shoelace just untied. I'm gonna fall.
So remember, no, don't fall. I'll catch you.
You catch me. Yeah, right. What were you gonna say?
Remember, I did ask you if there were gated communities within Aldea Zama, or if Aldea Zama was a gated community.
Yeah, so this is a perfect example. So Aldea Zama itself is not a gated community. You can drive off of the two main boulevards. You can drive right into Aldea Zama, parking everywhere, which is great. However, within Aldea Zama, as Monica mentioned, you do have private residents with private and gated communities with their own security, and this is one example. And so another thing to note is that in the master plan, they put all the fiber optics, electrical, everything is underground. So all you have above ground are the signs and
the sun and the trees.
And the trees and the light. And look at the signs too, which is really cool. Look at the style. Like made out of wood.
Yeah.
This
is also one of my favorite restaurants, the Pitted Date. It's a vegan restaurant, but it's absolutely fantastic.
So we're gonna keep walking, and we're gonna go take a look at some buildings from the outside. Again, I just want to point out, if you take a look that way, look at all the trees. It's so beautiful.
They really did an amazing job of protecting the wildlife here,
Right.
the trees. And what's really cool about it in general, I don't know if you want to see the sidewalks over here. They'll build the sidewalks around the trees. So they won't cut the trees down. Normally in North America, what we do, we just cut down all of the trees. But here they incorporate it into the architecture, into the urban planning and design. So it's really incredible. It's a really beautiful place to be.
So we were talking about this a little earlier. Why Aldea Zama perhaps can be one of the areas where you could get a higher occupancy or even a higher rate is simply because if you're staying in any one of these properties, you can literally walk out of your property and you've got services right outside your door. So you're not, for example, in another region where you walk out and you're in the middle of the jungle and you would have to take a car or a what's it called?
A scooter.
A scooter or one of those ATVs, which is fun.
Exactly.
But if you wanted to just walk out and go to a bar or cafe, you may not have that in other regions, whereas in Aldea Zama, you can just walk out and you have all these little shops and restaurants, sushi place, like you were talking about the nomads that like to go to a cafe.
Exactly, but that's a very good point that you mentioned because a lot of people don't know if you've never come to Tulum. Tulum is pretty big. It's massive, it's really big. So you can't really walk to the beach. You can't really walk to different regions. You have to have a car or a scooter or a bike like you mentioned. So that's why Aldea Zama is so well built. They did such a good job incorporating really a lot of residential as well.
It's commercial.
As well as your commercials, you have everything here. And because of that as well, you're able to really charge, if you go on Airbnb, you're able to charge a higher nightly rate as opposed to other regions currently because it has all these amenities. So.
It really depends on the guest. So for example, if you're looking for the Tulum experience, where you walk out into the jungle from your unit, and then you get on an ATV or a bike, that's cool. I mean, some people like that experience, and then there's others that have families. And so with a family, maybe you want to be able to walk out and get to the corner store, get to a cafe, get to a little coffee shop or whatever, and you want that close by. So it's depending on the guest, but yeah, personally, I like to walk out to a cafe. That's just my style, but you might be different. So it's up to the guest. Okay, so we're at one development here in Aldea Zama. This particular development is 8 towers. It has a lot of amenities. So for those of you who are looking for a property that offers amenities to your guests, we have a kids play area. We have 2 cinemas, a huge co-working space, rooftop pools, games room, you name it. So it's perfect for a laundry service. So it's perfect for those who are looking to maximize the Airbnb checklist. Monica, what can we get in this building in terms of units? So what are we looking at?
Of course. So there's no studios. We're starting at 1 bedrooms. The starting price is 2.4 million pesos for 46 square meters.
Absolutely.
So for 46 square meters, so that's bringing you roughly 52,600 pesos per square meter.
It's hard to get these numbers out. The reason why is for all of our friends that are in the United States and Canada that aren't on the metric system. See, in Mexico, we're all on metric system. 46 square meter is approximately 495 square feet, which puts us at 4,900 pesos per square foot, which is about $287 a square foot. Now, 2.4 million pesos is about $143,000. So that's what you get, a 1 bedroom in Aldea Zama, in a development that has a lot of amenities for your guests. Okay, let's go. So Aldea Zama is one of these neighborhoods that you could drive, and it's really nice to drive, lots of parking in front of all the different types of different condos and commercial area. But because the roads are beautifully paved, this is actually a really nice neighborhood if you wanted to rent bikes or electric scooters or ATVs. You can really get around and have more of the Tulum vibe where you're not in a car. You can be out in the open, so you can ride a bike, you can rollerblade, those electric scooters are actually becoming really, really popular too. So this is what you get. in Aldea Zama. And look at the trees and the streets are really, really beautiful. Really nice neighborhood. And it's a mix. So for example, this whole row back here, these are all behind us, they're individual homes. And so if you want to rent a villa, there are villas here. If you don't want to live in a condo or you don't want to stay in a condo, if you're a family of 10, there's, you know, quite a few villa options to host 10 or 15 people, where you have your own private pool, you have your own amenities. It's really a nice neighborhood, and it was well thought out. And again, as I mentioned, you don't see any electrical cables, any wires, anything like that exposed. Everything is underground. All you see is trees, lamps, and beautiful developments. So right now we're on the main street. If you were to come off of Coba, we're on the main street of Aldea Zama. And if you look to the right, you're gonna see a bunch of commercial boutiques, bike rentals, real estate shops, offices, you know. There's coffee shops, ice cream, which is, I mean, who doesn't like ice cream? And you notice all of the parking out front. So you don't have to worry about parking if you have a car. I love this palm tree. So the airport, they're looking at the first flights at the end of December this year, domestic flights, not international yet. And the train station, I don't have the exact date for the train station yet. I mean, I don't like to promise the date, that's why I don't mention it. In terms of ROI, Aldea Zama does pretty good just because of all the services and the amenities. Region 8 is something that I find really interesting because it's the closest region to the beach. And again, ROI all depends on how well your property is managed, and how well you do in marketing, how unique your property is, what does it offer. Is your property manager aggressive in marketing? Do they know how to use the platform's algorithms? Do they advertise? Are they on social media? All these things have an impact on your ROI. All right, I decided to stop because one of my favorite projects in Aldea Zama is here to my right. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna do another video, maybe do a tour of this project, because the amenities are incredible. This is one of those projects in Aldea Zama right off of Coba. So literally you come out of this development and you're almost on the main avenue Coba, which takes you down to the beach. We're not far away, we're just a couple of minutes to the beach. But this is one of these developments where if you were a property owner that wanted to live on a property, this is high-end, luxury, resort-style living, and very private, huge swimming pool. I mean, it's really superb. But also for vacation rental, your guests probably wouldn't even want to leave the grounds. It's so nice. But if they did want to leave, they're in a great location to get to the action, to get to the beach, to get to the downtown, like the main commercial area of Aldea Zama. It really is a superb location. So we're going to talk about that project on an upcoming video, so stay tuned. So we're on Coba and you can see what's happening here. Look at all the construction. They're expanding the road. And what they've done actually on the opposite side here is they put in a bike lane and they put in the pedestrian sidewalk and beautiful plants and street lights. So they're really changing the infrastructure. They're really changing Tulum to be a place where it's safe to ride your bike, walk, take a scooter, and really enjoy everything that Tulum has to offer. And Coba, like I said, goes from the beach all the way to the main highway, and that's the highway that takes you from Cancun, or from Tulum to Cancun, and you can stop in Playa del Carmen on your way as well. So see how nice it's done? And they even built this beautiful, all these trees to separate the people on the bike, in the bike lane, so that you're protected and you don't have to worry about any accidents. All right, so we are on Avenida Coba. Like we mentioned before, it's the main avenue that goes from the highway down to the beach. We just left Aldea Zama. We did a nice little walk. We showed you some residential. We showed you some commercial.
We showed you some property, new developments, what you can get for price per square meter. You know, we took tours of the streets.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Thanks again, Monyka, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Like I mentioned, we're on Coba now because we are here. We're gonna have lunch. We're starving. One of the beautiful things we talked about was when you come out of Aldea Zama, you come right out to Coba, which has all the restaurants, bike rentals, scooter rentals, everything you can imagine.
So cute here.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's on Coba. If you have any questions regarding any of the properties in Aldea Zama or any other region,
you want to see renders,
you want to see renders, you want to get information, you want to come down and tour Aldea Zama
personally with us.
Yes, absolutely. We'll take you around. We'll show you everything. We have all the information for you in terms of real estate in this area. And please, if you liked our content, like this video, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Would you stay in Aldea Zama if you were in Tulum? Leave us a comment.
Let us
Monyka,
know.
thanks again.
Thank you.
We're gonna go have lunch. Ciao.